The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
A man came to my office today, had a stroke, he was shaking, he was like, and he asked me for money, whatever it is. He's marrying off his 14th child in Eretz Yisrael. He has one more left, he lost one died when he was 18. One died when he was 18. This man is shaking. He can't even hold his hand still for 1 second. He has a stroke. He's dragging his feet. He needs money for his wedding, whatever it is. And he tells me he has one more kid left that's 15. And he says to me, I have everything. I have everything. He tells me, I have everything, Rabbi. Honestly, he started crying. Tears were running down his Yerushalmi. He's like, I don't know how to thank Hashem. I don't know how to thank Hashem. He said, this is what he said to me. I have 13 kids married, and none of them came back. I didn't know what he was talking about. I was like, what? He was like, right. And the first time he said, I'm like, no, that's not good. And no one came back to your house, right? So I said, what's made the right? He goes, no, Baruch Hashem, they're living. And he says, and they all have children, and their children are all from. And he says, and he started crying like a baby. Hashem, 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 I don't even know how to thank you. He says, the only thing I'm worried about is that my 18-year-old boy, when he died, he was so special. He was born sick. He's like so special that him being in the house, listen to how a person can think. Him being in the house was the aura of my house. It was the protection that nothing could harm the house, because I had a heilige neshama, because he was a sick child. I don't know if it was Down syndrome, whatever it was. I think it was Down syndrome. So that neshama was protecting my house. Not, oh my God, you gave me a kid that's disabled, that's Down syndrome, that, he's not well. Oh my God, you know what you did to me? He was the other way around. He was like, the only thing I'm worried about is that special child is not in my house anymore, because he protected us all. It's like, wow. People don't get it. People don't get it. He was so happy. He says, I have children, and I'm still alive. And maybe I'll be alive when my last child gets married. I hope Hashem will help us, will help me. So, imagine he has a kid that was sick that died, and instead of having kindness to Hashem, he's like, he was my protection. Hashem gave me a holy soul. How many people think that way? Like they get a kid that's very sick, and they're thinking, wow, you put something in my house that's going to protect us all. It's like crazy. That happened today. That's for you guys. Yesterday was the werewolf. That was for Tuesday night share. This guy came to my office today. It was Wednesday. That's for you girls to hear. What I just told you, Hashem said to you, because he came today to my... How you look at things. I was sitting there. I was like, I'm so small. I was so small. If I had a child like that, I'd have tinnitus. Why? What? Where? How could you do this to me? This guy's saying, thank you for giving me for 18 years. I'm nervous. He's not there anymore. Who's going to protect me? Like, I was sitting there. I was like, whoa. And the man's shaking the whole time. He had a stroke. He could hardly get into my office. And this man is like, my daughter's getting married with Chodesh Adar. He's like in heaven. Doesn't have a penny. Not a crumb. Poor. I know him for a long time. Poor people. He is happier than all of us. Seriously. The way he looks at life, and crying, a man crying, tears and tears. Hashem, I love you. I can't believe you're doing this for me. In front of me, he's like crying. I'm like, I can't even cry like that on Yom Kippur. I don't cry like that on Yom Kippur by Ne'ilah. He's crying, just sitting there in front of me, and he wasn't crying out of pain. He was crying out of happiness. He says, look at me, I'm shaking, but I'm alive. I'm going to be by the wedding. I'm shaking, but I'm alive. I'm like, you should live till you're 120. He gave me a lot of brachas. Just saying how he looked at it, that ripped my heart out. I just miss him because he was my protection.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org